What's happening on a Friday? It's Tony Wickens here with Locked On Jaguars. I'm going to give you a reason the Jaguars can win this game and tell you what it would mean for the rest of the season. And I'll do it here in just a second on a Friday edition of Locked On Jaguars. Stand by.
You are Locked On Jags, your daily Jacksonville Jaguars podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is going on, man? It's Tony Wickens here on a Friday. This is the drive time edition of Locked On Jaguars. And first and foremost, I would like to thank all of you guys every day for making Locked On Jaguars your first listen of the day. And we really, really appreciate that. And understand, it's free on all platforms, including YouTube and wherever else you get your podcast. So we're going to get right to it, man. I know most of y'all don't think the Jaguars have a chance to win this game Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. You can break it down and look at our crossover edition and that we did with Bo Brock and my man Clancy from Locked On Arizona Cardinals. And it didn't sound like anybody, including me, was giving the Jaguars much of a chance. Here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to actually point out ways that I'm going to try to find out the way that they can win the game. And I'm going to try to figure out and try to explain to you that I need to take my own advice. My own advice is I always leave room for athletes. You leave room for the impossible. And that's what I'm going to do. Vic Fangio, a lot of people heard Vic Fangio make the comments and they took the snippet where he said that Urban Meyer told me it's like playing Alabama every week. Really what Fangio was saying in that segment or in that interview was that this is a hard league and anybody can jump up and get you because all the players are very good. And he had just used that part as an example. So I'm going to, say that applies to Jacksonville as well. Jacksonville's an NFL team also. Jacksonville's a team full of guys that were college All-Americans and All-Stars, and they put their pants on just like everybody else. So Jacksonville is anybody. When folks say if anybody can come up and get you every week, why can't Jacksonville be anybody this week? They are anybody. Just look up anybody in your imaginative dictionary as a Jaguar fan and assume that anybody means it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's who anybody is. So we're going to come up with an avenue and create our own roadmap to victory for the Jaguars. I'm going to tell you what they have to do defensively first in the second segment, and then in the third segment, I'm going to tell you what they have to do offensively. But yeah, why not us? Why not right now? In this first segment, I'm going to continue to tell you about what this could actually mean for the rest of the season. Right now, it's tank for this person, tank for that person. Right now, it's they have no shot, and this thing is not as good as it was supposed to be, and all of this and all of that. Look, I get it. I understand. I feel you, right? All of that could change. Win this game Sunday against that tough opponent, it all changes. The entire narrative and the attitude and the feeling of everybody now becomes hope all over again. Now it becomes, wait a minute, maybe they're on to something. And now all of that enthusiasm that was in the offseason, it gets rebooted. It gets brought back to the forefront. So if anything's possible, that doesn't stop just because you're a Jaguar fan. And that doesn't stop at the door of TIAA Bank Field and say, well, it applies to everybody else except this club. No, the possibility does exist that the Jacksonville Jaguars can win. Nobody in their right mind thought Houston would beat Jacksonville, but they did. And I know this is a different animal, but let's stop with everybody's looking at Arizona like there's some juggernaut, right? So they're a very good team and they're real talented. Can you tell me when recently Arizona's been winning anything? Don't worry, I'll wait. Did they make the playoffs last year and I didn't even know about it? Did they? Where are all these perennial playoff appearances? Since when are they all of a sudden a boogeyman? When are they the John Wick of the NFL that says that they are unstoppable? They were 2 years ago. They were Jacksonville. They had the number one pick like 2 or 3 years ago. So all of a sudden now they're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kansas City Chiefs, the New England Patriots, right? No, they're not. They put their pants on just like everybody else. So in college last weekend, I was right when I told everybody, and the tweet is there for you all to see, that the Alabama-Florida game would be closer than you expect. Alabama jumps out to a 21-3 lead, and I start getting all of these text messages and all of these DMs and all of these tweets, right? When it was 2 minutes left to go in the game, I couldn't find those people. They were on a milk carton because none of them wanted to listen to me because I told them that the game would be closer than they thought. I'm not Confucius. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm always right. But when I am right, I'm going to tell you I was right. And I could be right this week. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have a shot to do the impossible. Now, they have to still do it. Just because I'm sitting here telling you that I think they can do it doesn't mean it's going to naturally happen. But it might. So I'm going to tell you how it has to happen. And I'm going to start with the defense because there's this little guy. He's about 5'10" on the other side of the field this weekend. He's going to be a problem. But you have to solve that problem. Something I said in the offseason was that Jacksonville had to be the problem and not be the team that's trying to solve problems. The defense has to set the tone so that they have to be a problem for Kyler Murray. Segment number 2, I'm going to get into it. But once again, I want to thank you all for making Locked On Jaguars your first listen of every single day, and that it's free on all platforms, on YouTube, as well as wherever you get your podcast. Always, all the time, it's free. Stick around, man. I'll get into it and show you how the Jaguars are going to win Sunday. You notice I didn't say could. I've already changed right in the middle of this podcast. I said they're going to win Sunday, and you guys are going to be very, very happy. I'll tell you how in just a second. After I tell you about Built Bar, Built Bar is the greatest protein bar ever, and you know it. And I've been telling you that now for what? It seems like I've been talking about Built Bar since I was in high school. And that's not possible, but they are so delicious. I can't help myself, man. I get really, really excited. You got freedom of choice with the ones that you want to eat. You can get an assorted box, or you can be like me and you can get stuck on that salted caramel because it's so absolutely so delicious. And the macros are off the chain, man. 17 to 18 grams of protein, somewhere between 130, 180 calories, only 4 to 5 grams of sugar, and 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. Now, I said 425, not 45, okay? Amazing flavors, all tasty, all healthy. Now, look, order today and get the grasshopper cookie or raspberry or whatever you like. And Built Bar is the official protein bar of the U.S. track and field team, too. So you know it's healthy. Here's what you have to do. Go to Built.com and use the promo code LOCKED15, and you'll get 15% off of your order. That's Built.com, and use the promo code LOCKED15 and get 15% off of your order of Built Bars. Once again, this is your man, Tony Wiggins, thanking you for making Locked On Jaguars your first listen of the day and letting you know that it's free on all platforms, including YouTube, as well as wherever you get your podcast. We're going to talk about how this defense can be the problem, not to go out and solve the problem that is on paper of Kyler Murray, but they can actually be the problem on Sunday. First of all, what you have to do is you got to get pressure up the middle. And then after you get pressure up the middle, you have to make sure that your edge guys hold their gaps and don't give Kyler Murray room to run and maneuver. I know it's going to be a difficult task to cover down the field, possibly without C.J. Henderson. Trey Herndon hasn't played this year. So you got guys that will be running around against some very, very good receivers, a whole bunch of versatile receivers. D-Hop, obviously, on his way to being a first ballot Hall of Famer, the veteran A.J. Green, Christian Kirk, and the rookie Rondale Moore, who a lot of people thought should have been a Jaguar. So how are they going to contain and control all of those guys? Well, you ain't going to stop NFL teams. All right? But, you have to put up as much resistance as you can. And one way you do it is you don't give quarterback the time of day. You don't give him the time of day. First of all, I come out and base nickel all day. And then I would send people up that A gap all day long to force him to try to get outside where you'll have people sitting there waiting for him if they contain. Throw him off of this square, man. Throw him off of this square. You got to come with a game plan, Joe Cullen. You got to come with a game plan. They have to tackle in the open field. If you're one-on-one with a guy and you're on defense, you got to hit him. You got to bring him down. You cannot give up chunk plays because Arizona is very good at chunk plays. But Alex Clancy said something during our crossover. He basically said they're lucky. They're getting lucky, and especially Steve Keim, the GM, that this is all Kyler. It's not like this is some juggernaut, some great team. And the offensive line is a little bit suspect. The Jaguars have to take advantage. I would send people up the A-gap all day long, and it's not that I would ignore the run, but if y'all want to run it, fine. Y'all want to play that game, y'all want to slow play it, that's cool. Everything is about the pass. Everything is about containing Kyler Murray, making him play making him play off schedule. That's just what I do. If they can get some points out of the offense that I'm going to talk about in segment 3, they can really, 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 if they jump out early and dictate, they can really dictate this game by, I'm not saying confuse Kyler Murray because I think he has a very, very high football IQ. But what you can do is you can really, really make sure to make him uncomfortable. You have to attack. Sometimes, sometimes people think you attack strength or you attack weaknesses. Sometimes you have to attack strengths. Sometimes you can't be scared. Use Florida, Alabama as another example. We're going to run the ball down your throat, and then we're going to stop the run. Against Bama, is that what you're going to do? Because nobody does that against Bama. Try it. Watch what happened. And go back and look at what happened. Florida, Bama, and almost beat them. In basketball, there's a term that teams that press don't like to be pressed. Sometimes you attack a team you attack their strengths. You don't try to go around those strengths and try to find their weaknesses. No, go at the thing that they like to do the most. Take it away from them and then make them see you're the problem now. You're not solving problems. You're becoming one. And that's how the Jaguars have to think about this. They got to let it rip and open it up. Now, doing this, they're going to risk something. And I'm going to tell you what that risk is. They risk getting their socks blown off, right? But if they play it close to the vest, that's what's going to happen anyway. I don't think you can play around with a team like that and be conservative. I think you got to bust them in the mouth, man. Punch them right in the face. Attack their strengths. Attack Kyler Murray. That's what you got to do. You can't lay back. You can't sit back and be a sitting duck, because if you're a sitting duck, you're in absolute trouble. Now, offensively, before I bridge to that, special teams. I hope Josh Lambo makes every single kick and gets some confidence going. And I hope Logan Cook booms those punts inside of the 10-yard line to continue to give them a long field to have to travel. And I hope the Jaguars tackle in space. And I hope they selectively blitz and storm the A-gap. And I hope Josh Allen and RRH, Roy Robinson Harris, and Hottie Ward and Dwan Smoot and Gossis and those guys can absolutely destroy that offensive line that has a few question marks. You fired up yet, Jaguar fans? You should be. I'm picking them to win Sunday. And I know y'all probably think I'm crazy or y'all think I'm half-baked or whatever. I'm not. Sometimes I think you just have to speak stuff into existence. And I want this I want this for the fans so bad, because I want the enthusiasm to be put back into the building. And I'm going to tell you something else. I do like the way Urban Meyer verbally responded to the 0-2 start and how things were going this week. I like this body language. And it's not like I'm sitting there trying to, be Madame Ruby or anybody and read somebody's body. But I actually like this body language, and I like the message that he was sending out. So let's see what's going to happen. But I'm going to tell you in just a second here what Urban Meyer and that crew have to come up with offensively, and Darrell Bevell have to come up with offensively. Darrell Bevell's everybody's whipping boy these days. We'll see if we can change that. Because I think what they have to do is very doable. You like that? What they have to do is very doable. Check it out, man. Listen, running these office pools at work. I love being a part of a pool, right? I, in the past, hated running them. I didn't want to start a pool and have to manage it and figure it out. I didn't. But now it's easier, and you can find a simple way to do it at runyourpool.com. Your office pool, where you work, in your neighborhood, your friends. It's so simple because there's just a better way to create your custom pool at runyourpool.com, the premier sports pool hosting service. It makes it ridiculously easy when you use Run the Pool at runthepool.com to run a football pool with your friends and your office mates or your family. Run Your Pool hosts formats for NFL and college football with 1 week games, full season, playoffs, or the Super Bowl. Unlike any other fantasy platforms, Run Your Pool has options and settings to make it your own. It's not too late to start a pick'em or a survival pool. For survivor leagues that have already lost, we also offer revival pools. So, where you can start your pool at a discount. So go to runyourpool.com and check it out, man, and get going and have some fun watching football with your friends and your family. BetOnline.ag. What is it? You know what it is, man. It's your number one spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With new and updated site interfaces, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline.ag continues to be the number one source for everything football. You need to head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 100% welcome bonus. That's double your initial deposit just for signing up. Don't forget to use the promo code Locked On. Football, basketball when it comes back. The ladies are playing basketball right now. Boxing, all of these things, casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your sports favorites. BetOnline is your online sportsbook experts. Remember that promo code is Locked On for your 100% matching bonus on your initial deposit. All right, man. So I'm going to give you a quick assessment of what I believe the offense has to do Sunday. You ready? I want to tell you, it's just going to blow your mind now. This is mind-breaking stuff. They got to score some points. Yeah. The good old-fashioned score more than your opponent and you win the game, they got to score some points. And I think they have to do it fast. They have to have a fast start the way that they had last week. And then don't necessarily get conservative, but throw those body punches. And what I mean by body punches, I talk about it all the time. Body punches is running the football. Run it. Run it down their throat. Run it. Challenge that front seven. Challenge those guys to have to start peeking up into that box because you're committed to running. And as soon as that happens, you're going to go play action and you're going to send somebody downfield and Trevor's going to hit them. Now you get them on their heels. Now you become the problem. You become the you become the resistance. You become the thing that they're adjusting to. You become the thing that they're trying to figure out with flat out aggression, different attitude. You can go fast and run tempo, but still run the ball. You don't have to play it slow. Running the ball doesn't necessarily mean that you're going 3 yards in a cloud of dust or that you're running the ball and the game's going to, take all, going to go by real fast and you're going to plod through it. No, you can be a team that runs the ball and does it with a lot of tempo. Run it, come back to the line, no huddle, call another play at the line, boom, run it again. All right, run it again. I'd love to see him come out, run it 3 straight times and get a first down, get 4 yards, get 3 yards, run it again and get 4 more yards, first down. You set the tone that way. Even if you don't get a first down, you set the tone. Or on third down, play action, let Trevor pull that thing out on the design run and get to those sticks and run right out of bounds. Stretch them out. Stretch them out. Don't just chunk the ball down the field all day. Set that stuff up. Don't even throw it deep into the third or fourth quarter after you set it up all game. Max protect, send one guy down, nail him. Come up with the game plan of your life on the offensive end. And guess what? You might shell shock those dudes and send them back to the desert with a big old L on their face. They almost lost last week. They're not unbeatable, but you got to be aggressive to do it. And if Darrell Bevell can pull this off, woo! I know when I come on here Monday and you guys tune in to Locked On Jaguars for your first listen of the day, you guys are going to be in for a treat. Do not let me be right this week, because ain't nobody going to hear the last of this. I'm going to tell everybody about this one. Yeah, and I'm picking the Jaguars to win the game. It is going to change the narrative of this entire season when they do it. And if they don't, I'm going to replay this little piece of snippet for you on Monday when you make Locked On Jaguars your first listen. And I'm going to have egg on my face, and then we're going to have talk with the administration. We do not have to have a talk about who I'm betting on, because I'm going to listen to Locked On Bets with Lee Sterling and your boy Q, and they're going to tell me. And you need to do the same thing. You need to subscribe to the Locked On Bets podcast and wherever you get your podcasts, on the Odyssey app. And know this, Locked On Jaguars, Locked On Cardinals, all of that stuff, Locked On Bets needs to be your second listen of the day. They're all free, and they're on YouTube. They're everywhere. All right, man, so I'm out. I'm going to see you guys at the stadium on Sunday, and hopefully the Jaguars will be victorious. Once again, thank you for listening and making Locked On Jaguars your first listen every single day here on Locked On Jaguars, because it's your team every day. As I always say, take care of each other, man, this weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.